Today, our fellow citizens, our way of life, our very freedom came under attack in a series of deliberate and deadly terrorist acts.
Captain Nate Green was at SOS, Squadron Officer School at Montgomery, Alabama on 9/11.
On September 11th, 2001, I was assigned to the 1st Special Operations Group, Herbert Field, Florida.
I'm originally from New York, so it hit really close to home. And when I first heard it, I assumed it was a puddle jumper, a small airplane.
Once 9/11 occurred, our original concerns were for all the folks that had been hit in the towers, and then also the folks at the Pentagon.
So on September 11th, after the first plane hit, is when I received a phone call. Everybody calling me, telling me to pick up the phone, and that's when I saw the second plane that hit the Twin Towers. And at that point, being an airman in AFSOC, knowing that planes don't crash into buildings in daylight with no clouds, something was going on, so it was definitely a get the heart racing kind of moment.
We all knew at that point that life as we knew it was not going to be the same.
I actually watched live the second airplane hit the towers on the news. And it was an instant concern of family and friends and folks that worked in and around Manhattan.
Periods of silence just staring at the TV, and then periods of anger, and then periods of, okay, what is this? What does it mean? Who was it? And that kind of stuff. Everybody wanted some payback. Everybody wanted to go take care of who it was that did this to our country. And I was right there with them.
We knew that we were going to be tasked very soon.
We had realized that the Taliban, along with Al-Qaeda, were the prime suspects.
When we did go, which was in November, it was again a sense of pride. We knew our country was behind us. I was a young lieutenant, but I knew exactly what we were going to do.
We were able to go in and hit a key target at that point in time. Was one of the largest terrorist training camps within Afghanistan. And we ended up spending 14 days on that site with very little supplies and support. But during that time, we were able to drop over 560,000 pounds of bombs and munitions to close and ensure all of the cave complexes were completely destroyed.
So there's a team that's under fire right now. Is your crew ready to go? And I said, yes, sir, we're ready. We literally launched our first aircraft from our squadron into Afghanistan with a call sign and a frequency that was handed to me on a yellow sticky.
The outpouring of support from civilians, military, everybody just wants to get involved and help, and that's one of those things that makes America great.
Tonight, I can report to the American people and to the world that the United States has conducted an operation that killed Osama Bin Laden, the leader of Al-Qaeda, and a terrorist who's responsible for the murder of thousands of innocent men, women, and children.
Everybody knew that he was directly responsible and had supported the initial terrorists who had struck both the towers and also the Pentagon. So for that, it had a very symbolic, impression that, hey, this is one of the individuals.
It kind of stunk that, hey, it's 11 years later that we finally get this guy, but what a good feeling of America sticks with it. And we didn't stop until we got this guy.
It really took me back to the beginning, back to 2001. And this is why we had been there all these years, because this person who started an organization that was very deadly and impacted and changed America forever, we finally got him.
For me and my unit, knowing that we had been pretty much constantly at war with the exception of 4 months since September 11th, our unit was continuously deployed. All the sacrifices that those guys have made, being away, putting in the time and effort to help make this thing happen, and being part of the team that did accomplish that.
Once he was gone, it was very, very emotional for everybody within the SOF community. And I know specifically the Air Commandos were very involved in, and also it was a very important part of our closure. But we also understood that we have a lot of work to still do.
the meaning behind the day, things that went on in that day, and all the sacrifices that were made, and people that were lost. It's a national holiday in my mind right now.
So I think there are different ways people elect to remember and honor the victims of 2001. I think most people in uniform feel like they're honoring that spirit and that day, every day they put the uniform on.
I think September 11th every year has an effect on everybody. I think we all either think about where we were or ask others where they were and what it means.
I feel like I have had a chance to make a difference. I feel good about having made a difference.
It has no more importance 15 years later as it did the very first day. It's always important, no matter if it was the first year or if it's 30 years from now. I think anybody who had experienced what took place on 9/11, it's always going to be ingrained in your image.
I need to make sure that we are as prepared as we can be to face the enemy.
You know, what I do, and what most of us do that are in uniform, is try to make sure that another 9/11 doesn't happen.
There have been lots of things that have changed since that time, knowing that, hey, America's military, we've always got to be ready for another case or another attack like this.
We still have a long way to go to stabilize both Afghanistan, but also for all the rest of the folks that are potentially going to be threats against the United States, specifically the homeland, but also for the worldwide, issues.